I want to now talk about retirement. It's a serious issue. We've all retired at different stages of our career. You know, I want to start with you, Steve, because you've recently retired. How did you come to the decision? Was it upsetting? Is there anger? Is there joy? Tell me the feelings that the moment you decided to retire.
Well, obviously, mine was it was an easy decision towards the end because it had to be done. I had 2 operations on my back in the space of a year, and it got to a point where I knew I just wouldn't be able to come back and play and do a sport or a living that I've done for the last 20 years. What made it easier, to explain, is that because of the injury, I was sort of weaned off of football. If that makes sense, you know, that sort of Saturday feeding the 3 o'clock. You know, I was obviously in day to day and getting treatment, which is obviously a lonely place in itself. But it was a structured way out of football. The upsetting thing for me was going out the way I went out. I didn't go out on my terms as
Somebody
such.
took it away from you.
Yeah, just the injury took it away, and you know, I didn't say goodbye to football.
And JJ, you're nodding the head, yeah. 32 years of age, you know, you had to retire. And as Steve has alluded to there, I went out on my own terms at 36. So I was not at peace, but I knew that was a decision. I took it. And I can't imagine what people go through when it's taken away from you. It's 32.
Yeah, I still have dreams that I'm still playing, to be honest with you. Every now and again, I wake up and I'm like, oh, have I got training today and so on, and I have to kind of snap myself back into that mode of, no, it's gone, and, you know, you got to put that part of your life to bed. It was difficult. The first couple of years were very difficult, and you know, it's like a loss. It's all you've been doing your whole life, and you know, you don't know what to do with yourself. But I knew that I had good people around me, good friends, good family, who would just do something as simple as just get me out the house. That's what I needed at that particular time.
Were you angry?
I think I'm so grateful for the career that I had that I'm not angry, but a bit like what Steve said, it's just like writing a story and not kind of finishing it. It's a bit like just kind of it coming to such an abrupt end and then just putting it in a box and just forgetting about it forever. Because that's almost what you have to do. If I start thinking about it a little bit too much, you know, you do start to get a little bit emotional about the whole situation. But I think, you know, the ability to come into the media, and a bit like when I was rehabbing for my knee, trying to get back, and I was at QPR, I was going to do Match of the Day, coming back, and they were going down at the time, and I'd be going back in the dressing room as well, and balancing that whole situation out was difficult. But you know, I sit in a happier place now, a far more kind of content and accepting with the whole situation.
And Chris, you retired.
Big loss to football, Rob.
But you had to retire early as well, at 34, with an eye injury.
So I'm partially sighted in my right eye. That was from a head knock, but you look pretty good, Rob, where I'm sitting. You know, similar to Jermaine, in the respect that I'm very privileged and grateful that I had the career which I did, you know, playing at the level which I did. But, you know, it was a simple decision for me, really, in terms of, you know, I was advised not to carry on playing because I can't fix my eye in any way, shape or form. So, you know, I stopped, and successful time in management, and now in the media with you, Rob.
Then you were 38, you were a player manager.
Well, yeah, I almost finished at 31. In Monaco, I got infection in the knee, and I was out for 2 years. So I thought it was over then, and I started to think about... Fortunately, I overcome that after 2 years. I went into management at Swindon, just as a manager, but I said, well, if I can get myself fit, I'll get myself fit. Didn't really think I was going to be able to play, but managed to sort of hobble about for Swindon for a couple of years there. So mine was a bit different, you know, it was like player-manager, which was mentally and physically really difficult. Then going to Chelsea as a player-manager as well for 2 years. And by the time I was 38, I was just absolutely exhausted. So at the end of the day, it was an easy decision for me. It was coming on one night at the Bridge, semi-final, Cup Winners' Cup it was, European Cup Winners' Cup. And the pressure that I just felt coming on from the bench, that we had to win this game. We were 3-0 down from the first leg. We needed a couple of goals. And I just thought, I can't cope with this anymore. So mine was completely different. You know, I'm so grateful that the career that I had managed to get back again off the knee injury that I thought was going to finish me at 31, and then had that extra time. So truly grateful for
When you
that.
say you couldn't cope with it, what do you mean?
Well, the physical you have to be fit. The major thing about a player manager is you have to be good enough to play, and you have to know that your teammates, the players you're going to choose or not choose, respect you in that fact. If you're you're putting yourself in ahead of a young player, that is not right. You've got to be able to contribute. You've got to affect the game, and that's what it was about. And there was a lot of pressure on you. I played at the back. I played as a sweeper, so I could see everything. We played a different style of football, similar to how you play nowadays, 3 at the back, wing backs. But I needed to be on the pitch for that. Then when going to Chelsea, I thought, well, actually, I'll hang my boots up here. But no disrespect, when I went to Chelsea, we had better players at Swindon, technical players, how I wanted to play. Oh. And it wasn't the Chelsea of today. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have, to get this into the players, I'm going to have to play. And it was tough. It was really, really tough. And in the end, I was exhausted mentally, because you've got to do the scouting, you've got to look after the kids, talking to young kids when they're not going to be taken on contracts. It was so tough doing the whole lot. It really was.
Amazing, fascinating.